Everyone's in. All right, we're all good. So, Suitrump Farm, the future of meme-centric yield farming, right? So, meme-centric. There are many yield farms in crypto all over the place. We all know they exist, and we all use yield farms for passive income, right? I love yield farming. It's my favorite crypto activity, even more than meme coins and NFTs. I love yield farming. So, the idea is to make a meme-centric yield farm, meaning that the focus that we're going to be having for the pairs and the other tokens, which will be on our yield farm, where you're going to be able to supply liquidity to earn reward token, is going to be mostly almost completely meme based, right? So I think there's a nice niche there because no one's really done this yet, where they've just decided to go only with the meme coin space, the meme coin ecosystem, and try pool liquidity in that way, right? So that's the whole big shebang, the big talking point, the unique preposition for Suitrump Farm is that we will be working with meme communities to do this, right? Of course, there's a problem there immediately, and the problem is, let me see, I can move to this page. Problem is, of course, that meme coins are a mess. We all know this. Meme coins are a complete mess. Look what was happening on Pump.fun last week with children rugging adults and people burning Jewish Israel flags, and one guy sat on the toilet, literally sat on the toilet and broke the world record for sitting on the toilet to try and send his coin to $1 million market cap, right? This stuff is ridiculous, and meme coins are a mess. Not many of them have any long-term plans. They launch, and the whole point is, I've launched the meme coin. Everyone's bought the bonding, right? They bonded it on MovePump. They bonded it on Pump.fun. Then immediately afterwards, nothing, right? No plan, no long-term plan. Just pump it, and then probably 99% of them will dump afterwards, right? And I don't want this project to go that way. And because Trump won the election, because we did launch Suitrump before the election, and because he won, that did give us, or has given us, 5 years plus of relevancy to continue to, basically be at the top of the narrative of anything political in the world. And because Trump, as soon as he takes office in January, we're going to be seeing he's going to be all over the news. He's going to be in every single news cycle, and it just gives our token immediate relevancy continued, right? Communities lose trust very often in meme coins, and they will move to other communities extremely fast, and that's just the way it goes, right? We can't change this, but we can try and hold our community, because if you understand how meme coins work, the token price will, of course, rise and fall extremely in a lot of volatility. But as the token price falls, we often get the community growing as more and more small bag holders start to grow. And then as it gets the next run up, then, of course, the FOMO hits. The community gains a lot more community members, but not all of them are loyal community members. And some people then sell as the token cycles back down, and they lose money, right? Essentially, if you trade meme coins with a short-term mindset, you generally lose money. I've found this as well in terms of how it all works. Nice little comments. Little clown thing. Okay, good. So reward tokens, again, right? We have reward tokens because it's a yield farm. Suitrump Farm is a yield farm, and it does have a reward token, and that's not Suitrump. We are not minting any more Suitrump token. Yeah, we're doing the exact opposite, actually. We are making Suitrump deflationary with this farm. The whole mechanic, utility of the farm, of course, attracting meme-centric users, investors, and other projects to the farm, and at the same time, burning the supply of Suitrump while rewarding our liquidity holders, liquidity providers into the farm in another token, okay? So there will be a second token being introduced into the Suitrump ecosystem, right? But the problem that we see with most yield farms is that when a yield farm rewards a token, the emissions on the reward token, for example, we can take very famous ones. Let's take Cake from PancakeSwap, right? The most successful reward token probably of any farm. Possibly Aero from Aerodrome is also very successful, right? Now, what the problem with these tokens is that they continually emit more tokens to liquidity providers. And as a token gets more and more supply, just like the US dollar, right? As more US dollars are created or printed, right? Then that means that the perceived value of it goes down, right? Therefore, you either need more people to onboard and keep buying this reward token and using this reward token, or the reward token will inflate like crazy, the value drops, and the investors run for the hills. Sad. We know it's sad, right? The government printer goes burr. Exactly. That's right, Mr. Furley. Government printer goes burr, right? And we don't want that. We don't want to have a reward token which is useless, right? We also want to have a plan for the reward token so that we're future-proofing the idea. So not only are we burning the supply of Suitrump, we're also rewarding a token which should have value, right? Because that's important. So the opportunity that we want to pitch to our community and to the Sui ecosystem and any yield farmer out there in crypto, right, is that we want to offer sustainable yield farming. The Suitrump farm is building the first of its kind platform to reward liquidity providers while keeping the token value strong, right? First of its kind because it is meme centric, right? We want to keep the token value strong while still rewarding our providers, right? Because if you are going to take, for example, when we launch, say we have a Suitrump and Sui pair. You take your Sui token, you take your Suitrump, you pair it up in liquidity, you put it in our farm, you get the reward token, right? We want to continue to reward you for providing liquidity, and we want to keep that reward token value extremely strong. Community-driven burns. The fees from the farm buy and burn Suitrump, right? Creating real scarcity and driving prices up in theory. Because if you take a very interesting token which had a very successful buy and burn, which will probably be Titan X, right? Titan X, because it has this insane buy and burn happening on the back end, really drives the token to be successful, the reward token to be really successful. But Titan X is an inflationary asset, right? Suitrump isn't. No more Suitrump will ever be bought. No one's ever done this. Just decided to take a token which doesn't have an emission on it and decide to use a platform to start just burning it down, right? Unified ecosystem, bringing together the best memes on Sui. That's what we want to do. We want to attract the best memes on Sui so that we can get them partnered with us and put into Suitrump farm, right? Partnerships that win big. The bigger the project that we can attract to pair with us in Suitrump farm, the more trading fees, the more liquidity, the more higher TVL that we're going to have for the farm. The higher the TVL of Suitrump farm, the more Suitrump is burned, right? The higher TVL of Suitrump farm, the stronger the value of the reward token, right? Together, if we can do this, it will be absolutely unstoppable, right? So Suitrump farm isn't just a farm. It's planned out and built to be a movement, right? This is the future of meme coins. Having a meme coins are great because when they are created, unlike most coins in crypto, when meme coins are created, the entire supply is minted on launch, right? And I like that about them. Because of this, it gives us a great opportunity to then just start reducing the supply of this meme coin, making it rarer and giving us huge pumps, which I think will happen. That's what I think. Of course, there is risk, but there's risk with everything in crypto. But believe me, it's going to be tremendous. It's going to be absolutely tremendous. So that's the opportunity that we have here, to use creativity, to use my experience, and use our entire community's skills and drive to really push this to become something extremely special inside of crypto. So that's why we need Suitrump farm. That's exactly what we need it for, right? So what is Suitrump farm? Suitrump farm, the first ever. This is it, when people ask you what's happening, what is this farm, what's going on, right? You just tell them this. This is how we pitch it, right? The first ever meme-centric yield farm. High APRs for meme coin liquidity providers, big rewards. Yield farms start with insane, crazy high APRs. That's always the way it works because you're getting the reward token, but at the beginning of the reward of the yield farm's life, I'm not minting any reward token. It's all going to be sent out through liquidity providing and earning the reward token that way, right? So that means on launch day, minute one of launch, this is going to be the reward token will just start minting as people are providing liquidity. But with such a low supply, the APR then on the yield farm is going to be insane. Plus then, if you're early to the farm to get in on launch, the amount of capital inside of each pool. So for example, let's again take Sui with Suitrump pair right in the pool. The APR is going to be the less people in the pool, the higher the APR. But then the higher the price of the reward token, of course, again, the higher the APR. The lower the circulating supply of the reward token, generally, the higher the APR. So that's why yield farms generally launch with extremely high in the thousands of APR. Over time, with the progress of the yield farm, you will see the APRs coming down, of course. Look at any yield farm that's ever existed. Usually after about 3 days, the insane thousands of APR taper off because you can't keep 1000% APR forever. You will make your reward token pretty invaluable, right? There'll be too much of it being given to people. But then the APRs will still be high. Generally 100, 150% APR, 300% APR is possible, right? And then after a year, you can come and see what PancakeSwap does now with their cake emissions, and you can see that now the APRs are generally around about 30 to 50% APR for them. Okay, partnerships with Sui's best memes only. The best works with us. Okay, only the best works with us. There are hundreds of coins on Sui chain that I'm sure once they get wind of what we're doing and what we're creating, they're going to want to try and get listed on Suitrump farm so that they can attract their community, and then their community will also receive our reward token for supplying liquidity. In return, their liquidity deposit will burn Suitrump. So it always comes back to the Suitrump coin. But we want the best tokens to work with us, right? Which means we want teams which are extremely trustworthy, right? We want teams which have quite large communities, so that we don't need to give too much of what we have away, because we are the ones that have taken the jump to create this. So this is why the best coins should and will be attracted to us. We then vet them inside of our community. Like I said, we only had one partner before. We had the Suimon, and they had a bit of a problem, a rug basically. They recovered, community takeover, but for us it was very embarrassing, right? Our first ever partner. Since then I haven't partnered with any other meme coins, but we will begin to get submissions for coins which want to partner with us. I do have one project which I want to put into Suitrump Farm, which is Sui Llama. Not Sui Llama, Alsui, sorry, from Pack of Finance, which is the coin made by Scott the Investor, because I've known him for years, and I know I can trust him, right? But we need to focus definitely mostly on the best meme coins with the largest amount of holders and the largest amount of trading volume, because the more trading volume that goes through our decks and goes through our yield farm, of course, then the more Suitrump token is burned and the more value our reward token will also have. So the platform fees of Suitrump Farm buy and burn Suitrump, right? No one else does this like us. No one else does it. And innovative mechanisms for sustainability. We're in this for the long haul. And I'm going to begin getting into some of the innovation that we want to put into this, which I haven't seen this exist on Sui. So that's why I'm very excited to get this hit up and running on Sui as well. I have a couple of comments coming into the chat. Okay, so we have a question from Voros Medve. He says, any chance of adding other chains to the farm? TBL on other chains is higher, right? So the difficulty there is, if you missed the start of the talk, the big trouble we had getting Suitrump Farm built, or building, because we're in the process of building it now, is that to build on Sui chain, you need to use a completely different coding language. So it's not EVM. So for example, if we were on base chain, we could just fork we could fork PancakeSwap and just launch a PancakeSwap fork without minimal effort, right? Or any EVM open source contract, right? We could fork Uniswap. But because it's on Sui chain, that means we need to change it into Move coding language and then fit with whatever the way that Move Sui chain works in packages essentially, and it's very hard to then change that into another coding language and then launch another chain on the farm. Would essentially just be making a completely new contract and a completely new farm. And the reward token would not really be able to go between these chains yet. I can't think of many coins which are available on other chains. We have, I don't even think, can we buy Sui coin on another chain yet? Is there a wrapped version of Sui chain? Because it would involve wrapping the reward token and wrapping Suitrump. So no, this will be solely focused on Sui and solely focused on burning Suitrump, right? That's what we say. Right. So next slide. Okay. So reward token. Let's talk about our reward token. So I put a bit of thought into this. What should we call the reward token? And before we had a couple names for it, but I decided that the reward token should be called Victory, because that's what we're going to have, right? That's what Suitrump is going to have. We're going to have Victory. It shows a golden horse because it looks cool. It's memeable. It's easily combined with a blue Donald Trump. Gold and blue work perfectly in color comparison. Donald Trump, a blue Donald Trump, riding a golden horse to victory. Easy branding, right? Perfect. So we've gone with Victory, right? The Victory token will have 0 tax on buys and sells. So it's going to be in that way similar, exactly the same as how we work with a cake token or any other emission token. It won't have a tax on buys and sells. For the one main reason for that is because it just complicates it way too much for meme coin buyers, right? Meme coin buyers want to have tokens which have no slippage when they want to buy them. They want to just buy them and sell them and trade them and have fun with them. So we are also aiming to make the UI and the experience and the way that we just talk about Suitrump Farm as easy to understand as possible so that everyone inside of crypto can get their head around it. I don't want to overcomplicate anything. I mean, it will be complex on the back end, but on the front end, and as we see it, it's going to be as simple as possible to try to get the message across. So 0 tax on buys and sells. You earn Victory token in pools, right? We will have LP pools. We will also have single asset staking pools inside the Suitrump farm. So for example, you can single stake your Sui token, you can earn Victory. You can pair your LP, you earn Victory, right? Then when you get your Victory coin, there's a couple things that we are going to add to make sure it has more value because, of course, reward tokens get sold. So you can also stake your Victory token in Mar-a-Lago. That's right. And Mar-a-Lago will be our single stake contract, which the work on that is also actually complete. And we're going to talk a little bit about Mar-a-Lago later on. Decided on the name Mar-a-Lago because I like to say it just sounds, it rolls off the tongue. Links to Donald Trump, pretty memorable. I think, yeah, I believe Donald Trump is watching right now from Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, I think so as well. And sustainability. So the emissions of Victory are carefully balanced to keep things running for years. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here for emission of a reward token because it's already been done before successfully by PancakeSwap, right? So the emission schedule which they run is good enough for us. It means that over time, over the years, of course, the emission of Victory token will get a little bit less, right? So of course, the best way to farm this is day 1, minute 1, second 1, and go in hard, bring the sledgehammer, get in there, earn a butt ton on the token, and then ride the waves as it has different waves. Good. We have Corey Steps, Richie, love the entire concept, stinking genius, George M. Nice. Yeah, it's not genius. We're trying to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible because the whole concept is to try and attract everyone, right? That's the whole idea of it. I don't want to complicate it because I've been in a lot of complicated protocols before, and it does confuse and distract a lot of people from the main mission. And the mission is burn the holy hell out of Suitrump, right? And reward all our liquidity providers with victory, right? Not just in the coin, but in the sense of we all want to win. We all want to win big, right? So we stake our LP to earn victory. That's how we do it, right? So we have a couple options or a couple ways that this works. The first is to open your own yield farm. We played around with a couple options. We could have aggregated Cetus decks, or we could have aggregated Move Pump decks and use their decks and then use their backend to farm liquidity and then go back into our farm. But already, when I'm saying all this, you can kind of figure that this sounds quite complex. And again, for someone coming in from a meme coin to then playing around inside of, having to form in CETAs, then move their CETAs LP, and then moving it into our farm, and then, what if they go out of range? All these kind of things. It's too complex. So we're building our own Suitrump farm decks, which will be primarily used for pairing liquidity with the tokens which you can farm with inside of Suitrump, right? You can also buy and sell and trade the coins which are listed in our farm on our DEX, right? DEX is the way they work. Let's take Uniswap. So Uniswap, the way that Uniswap works is it has a small fee which it uses. I think it's 0.03%. With Uniswap, and PancakeSwap I think has 0.05%, which they use. Uniswap has a small, in V3 I think they have a small percentage which then I guess goes to their team, and the rest of it goes to liquidity providers, right? From that small fee. The rest of it is just trading back and forth of people trading their coins. On PancakeSwap, they use a small percentage of the DEX fee to burn cake. That's why when you see the Twitter posts from PancakeSwap, quite often they talk about burning the cake supply. That's what they're getting the rewards from people swapping tokens on the Uniswap DEX, and then they're using those from that fee, 0.05 I think it is percent. Then they use that to buy and burn cake token, right? So we're going to be using something similar to that with our DEX. Okay, so the DEX will be trade tokens, form LP with tokens, provide liquidity. When you provide liquidity, you will get the liquidity rewards from people swapping the tokens back and forth. You'll also be able to stake your liquidity tokens in the farm to earn victory token, right? While the investors are trading back and forth with different coins which we offer, then we will be using the fee of 0.05% of that to buy and burn victory token inside of the Suitrump DEX, just to add a little bit of buy burn pressure to the reward token, because we need to, of course, give it as much help as it can so that it remains sustainable. The native pools and partner pools are different. So native pools would be native Suitrump assets. So the native Suitrump assets are Suitrump and Victory, right? To stake into these pools to earn Victory token, the fee is 1%. So if you put in $10, that means 1% of that will go to the Suitrump platform, right? That's how we manage to buy and burn Suitrump token, right? So the deposits come in, they are then taken. The fee is taken, the 1% fee is taken, and then that fee is used to buy Suitrump off the market and then burn Suitrump. If it's Suitrump being deposited into the pool, of course, we can't buy Suitrump with Suitrump. So therefore, we would just burn that Suitrump, okay? Lowering the supply. If the pool is not native, so it's not Suitrump or Victory, so we will have, for example, Suitrump and USDC, Suitrump and Sui. We'll have Victory and USDC, Victory, and Sui coin, okay? These four options for native pools, all of these will have a 1% fee. All of them will add buy and burn pressure to Suitrump token. They will also add from this 1%, we're also going to be sending some of this to Mar-a-Lago for our single asset staker. Then we have partner pools. Partner pools have a higher fee because, of course, that's generally the way this works with most yield farms that I've experienced. The fee is 3%. And that will also, partner pools also reward you with Victory token, and they buy and burn as well. So for example, on launch, I do want to have a Sui and USDC pool because everyone wants to farm with Sui and USDC. Farming with a USDC coin is always great because it shields you from any downward momentum in token prices and tonnage. And that means that we will be able to burn both the Sui, use both the Sui and the USDC fees to then buy Suitrump and burn it, right? And burn it out, right? So burn, baby, burn. That's the whole idea of this, right? So how much Suitrump will be burned? That's the big question, right? How much of this supply can we do? Suitrump has a circulating supply currently of 10 billion coins, right? 10 billion. If we get to, our market cap is currently around about $300,000. So if I think my estimation is on launch, we will have a market cap of around about $500,000, right? So if the market cap is $500,000 when we launch, we estimate that Suitrump Farm will buy and burn around about 320 million Suitrump tokens per $1 million staked into the farm. Now, this was the first estimation. I then ran numbers and calculations for 5 million staked into the farm, $30 million staked into the farm, but it gets very complex from there because, of course, as we buy and burn Suitrump, this market cap will increase, right? It will start to go up because the circulating supply is lowered, but before it's lowered, we buy it, right? So it's actually a double push up in the price of Suitrump. So therefore, the buy and burn would be buying less Suitrump because Suitrump will be more expensive. So the amount of tokens that we can burn is very hard to imagine, but the dollar value that we can burn is quite straightforward to figure out. So I was looking through a little bit of that here. Yeah, so if we do 1 million, we can burn around about $16,000 to buy and burn with 1 million TVL. If we get to 5 million, that means we have $80,000 to burn Suitrump. If we get to 30 million, that is $480,000 to burn Suitrump, right? As we grow. And this is continuous, right? It's not as though it's going to happen in one day. This is what's going to happen if we, like, it's just every single minute or second, anything. It will be completely automated, the buy and burn, from going into the partner pools to then burn Suitrump. So you're going to just, on the charts, you're going to see continuous volume from buys of Suitrump, which will be really good for analytics for people who are watching the Suitrump chart, right? Like at the moment, we don't have the biggest volume, and that's one of the things that's stopping us from getting listed on CoinGecko, actually, is because our volume's not high enough. Even though our market cap and price has been very stable, our buy volume or sell volume has not been the best. So what we can do, though, is we're just creating volume from the farm. So again, this solves another big problem for Suitrump. The higher volume Suitrump has as well, the more attractive it is to people who want to trade it, because then they realize, oh my God, this coin has got so many people buying and selling it. I also want to do that, right? So this is also what we got. So that's how much we can burn. Also, we have the DEX as we list more tokens, especially partner projects, right? Say we have a partner projects. You know, we have in the chat, I think we had someone asking. We had one project somewhere. Someone was saying, "Oh, list my token," in the live chat. I think it was the Frog Army coin. I think it was. Trying to find it. Frog Gang, yeah. So here, right? So we have a little. Hey Richie, Frog Gang wants to join the farm, right? So that's what I mean. We will get submissions from projects, and then all I have to do is organize with the different projects. We then bring it to our community. We have a community vote. Do you want to list or not list this token in the farm? And then we list them. Then they would be listed on our DEX, right? People would be pairing liquidity in our DEX to put them into our pools. That would then be burning Suitrump token, rewarding our new partners' holders with our reward token so that they can also earn passively without having to sell our partner token's coin as well. So it's actually going to protect that meme as well because it's incubated inside of our farm. There's no, you can unstake your coins at any point as well. There's no lock on the LP farming for this. None of this is locked. And so it's all about bringing this to the attention of our community. We vote and then we decide on which ones that we want to list as we get going with it, okay? So this is the beauty of it. Let's move on to the next slide. Mar-a-Lago. Okay. So the idea for Mar-a-Lago is, let's go to this slide. So Mar-a-Lago, I used the inspiration for this is from a project which is on Pulse Chain called SparkSwap. The single staking option that they have on SparkSwap was fantastic for about a year after launch. And also it was repeated again on PLS Farm, which is another pulse chain project where they had also a similar staking idea for the reward token. And again, it was very successful. And PLS Farm and SparkSwap are still running today. They still have pretty good APRs, and their reward token is still alive, right? So the idea is to use, we had to, of course, use our own creativity to create this the staking contract, because it's moving from EVM to Sui chain, so we had to remake it, okay, and reimagine it. So what is Mar-a-Lago? Mar-a-Lago is the Suitrump staking contract, rewarding you in Sui tokens, right? Stake your victory, earn Sui, right? Straight up, that's it. You take your reward token, you put it in Mar-a-Lago, you get Sui coin, right? And everyone wants Sui coin. Who doesn't want Sui, right? Time lock. So this is the only part of the farm which will have any form of a lock, and it's only on the staking of the victory coin, right? All of the other single asset staking, say if we have single staking for Suitrump or single staking for USDC, that will not have a lock. It will just be a straight up farm contract. This is the only lock, because we only need a lock on our reward token to, again, add more sustainability to the token price. Longer staking of victory token, higher APR, bigger rewards for patient winners. So the longer you stake your, or lock, the longer you put a time lock onto your victory token, the higher APR you will get, and the APR you will be paid out in Sui token, right? You can create an infinite money loop using Mar-a-Lago. The simplest way to explain this is you can rotate your rewards back into farm positions. You can create unstoppable gains. It's totally revolutionary on Sui. Of course, it was already done by SparkSwap, but I have not seen this on Sui. So it's revolutionary, right? So what you can do is, for example, say you go into the pool with your Suitrump and USDC, okay? You've gone into the pool and you're earning the victory token. Then you think, okay, I'm going to take the victory token. You time lock it. You say, okay, I want to lock it for 100 days. You lock it for 100 days. That gives you a pretty high APR. That pays you out in Sui token. You take the Sui token. You then decide, okay, I'm going to sell half. I'm going to use half the Sui token. I'm going to buy Suitrump with that. I'm going to pair more into the farm. So you rotate it back into the farm. You then earn more victory token. You then think, okay, now I'm going to sell half my victory token for USDC and profit. I'm going to take the other half. I'm going to restake it back into Mar-a-Lago. And I'm going to start earning a higher APR and get more Sui coin, which you then continue to rotate. By doing this, you are minimizing sell pressure on the reward token. You're getting paid out in Sui coin. And by doing this whole action of locking and then staking, then locking, then staking, you're triggering the fee, and the fee is what runs the juice to continue to burn Suitrump token. It also runs the juice to provide more Sui token into Mar-a-Lago, right? It's sustainable. 40% of the farm deposit fees and Suitrump DEX fees are added to Mar-a-Lago, rewarding stakers to keep things stable, right? So the Sui from the Sui inside, like, where does the Sui come from for Mar-a-Lago, right? Where's it? Do I have a magic Sui tree in my garden where I can just pick Sui and put it into this contract? No. The Sui comes from the fees of people using the platform. This is how we generate the yield from it. At the moment, we're running the unit tests on Mar-a-Lago to see how optimized we can get it, so that, of course, the APR and the Sui paying out for your victory token is worth staking, because it has to be worth it, right? It has to have an APR which is juicy, so that everyone thinks, oh, this is a great way to earn passive income. There's no point staking or locking your victory token for, say, 50 days, 100 days, 300 days, and then realizing, oh, hang on a minute, I didn't win here. So that's some unit tests we're running right now to make sure we do have enough juice to continue to pay out Sui token for the long run, right? So that's a big part of it as well. So that is Mar-a-Lago. That's something that is a big important part of this farm. And it's what's going to give victory token the legs we need for it to be a successful reward token. So with victory, that would be the idea you can stake it to earn yourself Sui token. You also have a burn from it coming from the DEX as well. So it has a buy and burn on trading. And it also has the option to stake it in here as well. So a 2-for-1, double whammy. Good. Crypto Arborist is here. Hello, Crypto Arborist. How are you doing? Okay, have some water. Okay, so the roadmap. How long is all this going to take? Sounds fantastic, Richie. Sounds great. Everything's amazing. How long? When? Right, when? So we know that Donald Trump is getting into office in January. So our aim is to get this finished and audited and ready for launch in January, right? Preferably before Trump takes office, right? If we can get this all done and ready to launch before Trump takes office, it is actually the perfect storm, is the perfect timing for launch. I really hope we can get it done. I have the funds to bankroll it, so it's all up to the skills of the development team and hopefully when we put in that first audit, it doesn't come back with any issues. Because of course, audits can be very annoying and tricky, and we need to get the audit as perfect as possible so that when we get launching, then it needs that green stamp, just to make sure there's no issues on that. So phase one is ongoing right now: contract development, testing, building the best UI, audit, precision work. Right, all this has to be done in technical and boring ways, but it is being done. It's being created, and of course, part of phase one as well is beginning our marketing, which is having this pitch deck, which now exists on the internet. You can share it around with other people. I'm going to now put up the Suitrump farm website, which will have the landing page, which will just have some brief information about the farm with this pitch deck. Then we will create the docs, and then we will start building, a bigger landing page for the farm to get everything ready for launch. So it's going to be quite fast moving. Phase two is the farm launch. We then have to get the partnerships in line for the farm launch. And the huge Suitrump buy and burn begins. So as soon as we start this farm up, as soon as the farm opens and our community and investors start coming into the farm pools, that will be exactly when the Suitrump buy and burn begins. So you can speculate now, if you want, on Suitrump coin and think, okay, it's a coin. The chart looks pretty good, actually. I think we have a great chart, fantastic chart. And if we are maintaining and actually increasing in value at the moment with our chart, right? We've gone up about 60% in value in the last week, which is a great little mini pump, right? So you can start thinking, okay, how is this speculation before the launch of this farm going to drive the price of Suitrump? I think it's going to do extremely well because speculation is what fuels a lot of crypto, right? A lot of crypto just runs on speculation. So if people are speculating that huge buys are coming in, a huge buy and burn is about to happen, they think, oh, I want to get it now so that I can trade it after the buy and burn. So you will see, I think, a lot of buy pressure coming into Suitrump before the launch of the farm, and then organic. It's not actually organic because we've created it. It's manipulated buy pressure coming from Suitrump Farm on the token as well to top. Mar-a-Lago, I want to start the staking contract. I put it in phase 3 because I want to make sure it is secure. It's probably going to be the one thing that is going to hold back the audit because it is a completely brand new concept. Because even it's a little bit different from even SparkSwap, because in SparkSwap they rewarded LP, but we're only rewarding a single token. So I put it in phase 3. We might be able to put it into phase 2 and launch them both at the same time, but it might be a staggered launch where we launch the farm and then we launch Mar-a-Lago. I'm going to have to see about that. Then phase 4, long-term growth, stability, value preservation, Suitrump for years to come, right? So the roadmap, again, like most of this pitch deck, is extremely simple because I want people to see the grand vision, see the big idea of it all. So why should you join Suitrump Farm? That's the big question as well. Why should you join Suitrump Farm? Because it's huge, that's why. High APR rewards, sustainable growth, and the strongest community in crypto. That's what we want to create. The website is coming soon. The full white paper for this will be coming soon as well, with more technical information and more precise mathematical predictions for how much token we are looking to burn from this farm. You can join us, come to our website, sui-trump.com. You can come to our Twitter, Suitrump Coin. You can check us out on Telegram, where we are right now, right? And if you want to list your Suitrump token with Suitrump Farm, you can contact me through Telegram. This is my Telegram ID. Just send me a DM. I will start organizing all the projects which are interested in getting into Suitrump Farm. And then it's our community's decision. We will have a large community vote, a huge community vote for when we launch and which partners we choose, who we want to list with the farm. So that's That's the big plan. That's the big picture for the Suitrump farm. All right, so that's the pitch. So now we're going to get into the Telegram, and hopefully we're still live. I wasn't looking. Telegram, yeah, we're good. So anyone should be able to talk inside the Telegram. So should be. I think it should be pretty much open for everyone to be able to speak. So if you have any questions now is the time to ask. Also, I have a bunch of questions in the in YouTube as well, which I'll be going through as well. So let's see what we got. We got a lot of questions. Okay, what we got? We got going to be huge. It is going to be huge. It's not really a question, but it's a pretty good question. Okay, I'm also in the Telegram live. Okay, cool. I'm going to put it onto my face, and we're going to get this one up. Okay, we got the Telegram up as well. So from Andrew Ryo, he says, what's the advantage for coins to list on the DEX? Right, so for listing on the DEX, the advantage to any coin which lists on our DEX is, of course, that they'll also be listed on other DEXs as well. For example, if it's a coin which was launched on MovePump, then they already have locked liquidity on MovePump, and they will continue to have locked liquidity there. What they would then do is they would say, we want to list our token with Suitrump Farm. Because we have our own DEX, it means that the liquidity needs to be paired on our DEX to go into our farm. The advantage then for the coin is that they would be able to tell their holders, look, you can now pair your liquidity on this farm, then you can earn a reward token for pairing it, right? As opposed to just holding the meme, you can pair the coin. We can talk to the meme coin and say, do you want to pair your coin with Sui? Do you want to pair your coin with USDC? Do you want to pair with another meme? They could even work together as two memes wanting to partner up in one liquidity pool together. And then the token could be traded on our DEX. They could also trade it on MovePump or Cetus or wherever else they have liquidity. So the main advantages for this are that they offer their coin holders the possibility to stake their tokens inside a Suitrump farm and therefore earn our reward token. And that's a great thing to have because there's not much that you can do with a lot of these newly launched or even established meme coins in the space, right? So that's what we're talking about there. That's one of the main points. Okay, do we have any other questions? Have you coup-proofed this? I don't know what that means. Coup-proof. What's a coup-proof? Explain. Is that a typo or what? I've never heard of coup-proof. Let me know what coup-proof means and I'll let you know because we do have a 4-man dev team working on this. I am pretty good or getting better at UI design, but in terms of smart contract development, I'm nowhere near finessed enough, in my opinion, to do that. So that's why I hired a development team to do this. It's a company which are building it for us. We have a big question here. Any pre-sale for the reward token to build the liquidity? No pre-sale. Let me explain. Can you tell me one pre-sale for a reward token for a yield farm which was profitable 2 weeks after buying it, right? I can think of maybe, I've gone into 50 pre-sales for reward tokens for yield farms in the past. I can probably say about 2 of them were profitable 2 weeks after I'm going in. And why is that? This is because when a yield farm launches, the APRs are really, really high, right? Meaning that the emissions of the reward token are the highest they're ever going to be in the farm's life. So if you're going to be, say I'm saying, okay, give me Sui token, and then I give you the reward coin, right? There you go, here's your reward coin. And immediately when we launch, I start printing way more reward coin than you could ever imagine, right? What's going to happen to the value of your pre-sale buy? You're going to get wrecked, right? You're going to wreck yourself. And I don't want to have people think that, I'm trying to take their money here. The exchange is very clear. You pay a small fee to stake inside of Suitrump Farm and you get victory token. You can unstake your LP at any time you want and move on. That's your LP back. And the victory token is yours as well. while you've been doing that, you've been burning our Suitrump coin. And the important thing there is, if you think then about any pre-sale, the pre-sale is already open because the pre-sale for Suitrump Farm is buying Suitrump token right now before we start to burn crazy amounts of the token supply. Buy and burn it, right? So that's the play. If you want to have an attitude of or thinking like, okay, I want some kind of pre-sale opportunity, the pre-sale is buying more Suitrump. That is pre-sale, right? And Suitrump is a token with 0 tax on buys, 0 tax on sells. If your buying doesn't work out, you can sell it at any point and move on, right? To build the liquidity of the token, then, how do we build the token liquidity? We build token liquidity by incentivizing the reward, right? That's the best way to launch, in my opinion. So I will add some liquidity to the reward token in our DEX. I will add some liquidity to Suitrump in our DEX so people can trade it back and forth, just like I added the liquidity to Cetus, right? So people can trade it there. And from there, it's all on the community to decide, okay, yeah, I want to pair up these coins. I want to put it in the farm. Because when you're pairing up your liquidity and putting it in the farm, that is adding liquidity to the token, right? That's how we go. How will the token reward price be set? We haven't decided this yet because we have so far built out the single asset staking contract. We have built the DEX. The last thing we're building now is the farming mechanism for the pools, right? So I'll have better answers for you on that, more exact answers once we get the contract building complete. Then we can run the unit tests. Then we can get a really good idea of the kind of token price that we're going to set for the launch of it. So I'll have answers on that, but at the moment won't. Generally, when you set a token price, it's when you initially supply liquidity to a token that immediately sets the price of it. So I think the easiest way, again, and we're looking, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel with the emission or price of the reward token. It's been done hundreds of times. So the best way would be just to mimic what PancakeSwap did with Cake, or what all of these essentially V2 farms did when they launched their token. And that's the simplest way to do it. Don't want to I really can't over speak the idea that I don't want to overthink and overcomplicate the process of this farm, right? I have any other questions? Okay. Thanks. That's great. There should be no pre-sale. Yes, mostly we just get wrecked. Yeah, it's true. We do. We just get wrecked. Brett Hartman's in the house. This is so bullish. Richie's the GOAT. Get your Suitrump now before 1 million market cap. Yeah, we almost touched 1 million market cap. We got to 1 million market cap just after launch. We got to about 950,000, which was our all-time high. And now we're sitting around about 320,000 at the time of speaking. Any single-sided staking in Suitrump to earn victory? Yep, we will have a couple single asset pools where you'll be able to stake your Sui, stake USDC single asset, and stake Suitrump also to earn victory. But generally following the same mechanics that farms run with, the deposit fee for the single stake will be higher than the LP stake because it's way less risk. You just basically put coin in, get another coin, So, and but we will have the option for this because it does raise the farm TVL, which makes it more attractive for new people to come into the farm. The higher the TVL, then the more attractive it is for investors to come in. And also by having single asset staking, we can burn more Suitrump. The giveaway, we're doing the airdrop. If you supply the Suitrump with Cetus, Suitrump with Sui inside of Cetus, then we send you Suitrump tokens continuously. That's what's going on. That's the giveaway for now. Okay, peace. Been Crypto Mischief. You guys have been fantastic, and I will see you in the next one. Don't get wrecked.